Kent Spitfires launched their NatWest T20 Blast campaign in style by romping to an 8-wicket win at home to Somerset, thanks to a record-breaking county partnership between Daniel Bell-Drummond and Joe Denly. Batting first after winning the toss, the visitors to Canterbury lost Johan Myberg to the first ball of the second over, drilling David Griffith's first delivery of the match to Darren Stevens at mid-off. That dismissal brought together Peter Trigo and captain Jim Allenby, and the latter went after Matt Coles in the last over of the power play. These two of 4 successive boundaries off the bowler, which had Somerset on 53 for 1 after 6 overs, an ideal start on a good batting surface. Trigo was looking in excellent form and hit maximums off both James Treadwell and then this one off the returning Griffiths. The fine partnership continued to build, with Allenby leading from the front in reaching his half-century off only 32 deliveries, an innings containing 7 fours and 1 6 of his own. Trigo, meanwhile, continued to go after the bowling as the visitors threatened a very big score indeed. This was his third maximum as he eased his way to his own 50 from just 26 deliveries. That half-century was completed with yet another boundary clearer, this one off Fabian Cowdrey, a 3-figure partnership between these two experienced players now in the bank, and they were not finished yet. Indeed, Allenby started to find his range with successive 6s off Stevens. That stand for the second wicket reaching 134 in just a dozen overs. Somerset appeared to be making an ideal start to their latest T20 Blast campaign. But then there was a flurry of wickets to peg Somerset back. Trigo on 57 struck his 30th delivery to Treadwell as he failed to connect fully with a sweep off Cowdrey. 143 for 2 became 153 for 3 in the 15th over when Scottish international Michael Leask skied a shot off Coles to Alex Blake in the deep. Cowdrey produced a stunning spell and also accounted for Ryan Davis, who mistimed a pull off the spinner to pick out Denly. And when the left-armer also saw Jamie Overton find Denly in the deep, he changed the course of the contest, taking 3 for 18 from 3 overs. 4 wickets had fallen for 19 runs in 17 balls, and only 10 more had been added when Roelof van der Merwe was bowled off his boot by Griffiths, leaving with his side on 174 for 6. And Somerset were unable to finish with a flourish either, as Allenby was out in the penultimate over for 91 off 53 balls, an inside edge off Mitch Claydon crashing into his stumps. So the visitors ended on 197 for 7, and that total soon looked to be under par, with Denly and Bell-Drummond showing just what a good surface this was for the batsmen. These two both starting this summer in excellent form. Both struck a boundary off the first couple of overs before the third, delivered by Yasser Arafat, went for 22 runs to soon have the Spitfires in the box seat. The former Kent man watched his very first ball of the match be plugged over the mid-wicket boundary for a 6 by Bell-Drummond, who then smashed 4 of the next 5 balls to the boundary as his team made a rampaging start to their reply. 35 runs knocked off after 3 overs to set the perfect platform for the rest, if the rest were going to be needed. And that looked unlikely as Denly went after Yasser Arafat's replacement Overton. The former England opener was timing the ball extremely well, as you can see from these 2 shots, which both went the distance, as the Spitfires brought up their first 50 inside the first 5 overs. Bell-Drummond was dropped in the deep as 68 runs came from the 6 overs of power play before Denly cleared the rope for a third time of Allenby with a perfectly timed shot. 2 balls later, Waller was also hit into the distance by Denly, who reached his 50 off 30 balls, that's his 4th maximum. A 5th followed over the offside off Overton as the target was brought down to just 70 off the last 9 overs, with all wickets still intact. The partnership became the best ever for Kent in this form of the game as the boundaries continued to flow, whoever was given the ball. Denly went big yet again off Tim Groenewald as the opening stand reached 150, the target now a simple one for the home team. It was ended by Groenewald in the 13th over as Denly swung a slower ball out to Leask to go for an exhilarating 75, which had occupied only 38 balls. The big shots continued though, Sam Northeast striking his 7th delivery over the rope, Yasser Arafat going for 48 from 3 overs. The Spitfires were cruising towards their target now, Northeast adding successive boundaries off Groenewald, before he fell for 27 with only a dozen runs required from 22 balls, Van der Merwe with the consolation wicket. In strolled Stevens, who then smashed his first delivery down the ground for a maximum, before finishing the game off in style with a 4-off Waller in the next over, the 18th of the innings. It was a very convincing performance from the Spitfires, especially after the way they were earlier treated by Trigo and Allenby. Bell-Drummond ended on 83 from 47 balls as the Spitfires took the game by 8 wickets with 16 balls to spare to start their T20 season in real style. They next head to Hampshire on June the 2nd, while Somerset travelled to Sussex the day before.